Good morning, it's Karen. This was a new endeavor for me. I did my very first vlog, kind of. The thing I think most people don't tell you about vlogs is how round and round and round the conversation goes until you hit on exactly what you want to be saying. So if I end up being really repetitive in this vlog, I apologize. But I just wanted to kind of share with you this adventure. In it, I've got a little bit of bookish content and I've got a little bit of gardening content, so please enjoy. So I have this old stroller. This is what you're going to hear in all of the vlogs, and I sincerely apologize. And this pit right here, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty broken. It is 14 years old now. It is a farm stroller. It is caked on mud. It is not really meant to be anything else but on the farm. I have lost my selfie stick. I don't know where I put it. I just wanted to have a quick discussion about the life cycle of a reader. I have had an up and down February, reading wise. We're in, hello goats. Hello, hello, hello. I find myself not so much in a slump. At the beginning of this month, I finished a book in which it was okay. It wasn't great. It was not the best thing that I've ever read. And then it subsequently put me in a slump. And there was no book that could hold my attention. So I ended up DNFing so many things. I started, some of them I even got like 20% into, and it was just like, nope, can't do this one. So it was like Red Rabbit, DNF'd, Art Thief, DNF'd. I tried a whole bunch of other ones too. Couldn't find it, couldn't figure out if an audiobook was it for me, couldn't figure out if a physical book was for me. And I mean, now I'm out of that slump because I found a book that has captured my attention again. Thank you, Emily Wilde, the second book. And thank you, Hexologist Josiah Bancroft. So these ones are just fun and whimsical and delightful. And they have brought me out of where I thought I was feeling. And it was just making me think about how we have this life cycle as a reader, you know? You read a really great book, and then no other book can compare. Or you read a really bad book, and then you want to read a really great book next to just like cleanse that palate and get rid of all of that bad, like, ugh. So we've got this cute little nook that I call Pirate's Cove, and I want to show you like the water levels are normal. So what do you do when you find yourself in a reading slump after reading something that was just mediocre? Like, what do you find? Like, do you go back to something that you know is guaranteed that you'll love? Like, I went to Emily Wilde. I enjoyed the first one. So here's my thought about the life cycle of a reader. It is very much like the medieval conception of the Wheel of Fortune, where there's a top and there's a bottom, and kind of in between. So like you read a good book, and then you're in a slump. And you read okay books, and then you read a terrible book, and then you're in a slump. And then you kind of go round and round and round and round the cycle. Say something else. Oh yeah, I'm going to go on a tangent about the hexologists, okay? So the thing about Josiah Bancroft's writing, I don't know if you find this, but it kind of, his writing reads slowly. And this is not a bad thing. I also enjoy the whimsy that he puts in his books, but sometimes I find I have to reread things because it's like, oh, I didn't quite understand that because it was so whimsical. The hexologists are like this husband and wife duo, and they basically are like for hire. They're kind of like detectives, and they like solve things, and they're part of this big conspiracy thing right now, and it's kind of cool and fun, and like there's a dragon, and like there's really cool aspects to it. And it reminds me a lot of, if you've ever read Genevieve Cogman's The Invisible Library, this is what it reminds me of, because she basically throws everything in there, including the kitchen sink, as well as robotic alligators and with top hats. um, and it just reminds me of that. It also, okay, deep cut. If you ever watched this, no, watch, it's not, like, it was a live theater program, but you could get it as a podcast. And it was called The Thrilling Adventure Hour. And they had this one wife-husband duo called Frank and Sadie Doyle. And they encountered all number of paranormal things. They were also raging drunks, but like, that was part of the charm. I am continuously reminded about them. And whenever I'm reading Iz and Warren Wilby, I think that's their name. And they remind me of their duo, the like rapport that they have with each other, the repartee, the like, they go back and forth and charm each other and charm other people, and like, it just reminds me of that. They're kind of like 1930s. Just, that's what they remind me of. And I can't get that out of my head. And I think that's really funny that that's all I think about. So I'm really enjoying the Exhalologist. Sorry, I just walked up a hill pushing a 25-pound baby on a stroller, and it's just like, catch my breath, okay. What I have figured out is what's going to happen down at the end here is going to be all kind of like the filler plants. So this is going to be like baby's breath, basil, cute little flowers like gomphrena, and we're going to have the sweet peas all trellised along here, all the way like to half. And then once we get sort of like midway, it's going to be like the bigger flowers, so more like the zinnias and the cosmos, the ones that are going to be more the bulk of bouquets. And then once we get about halfway down, we're going to have like parsley and dill. And then once we've reached the halfway point, that's when we switch over to vegetables. So we're going to have cucumbers down here. We're going to have beans, bush beans here all along. And we're going to have hot peppers. So I think right now I'm looking at Hungarian and jalapeno. Like mini little seed station set up. Haven't started really. I started a little bit, but it was more of an experiment. It's such a nice day out. I've got the laundry hanging, nothing like sheets that smell like the outdoors. I'm not sure if you guys are really interested in my kitchen garden, but I'll, oh, hello, Squeaky. But I'll give you a little bit of a tour with what we've got going on. So first off, I've got my garlic. It's coming up so nicely. Got my lovely hens here. And you can see they're doing a really good job of keeping down the grass and keeping down the weeds. This is Chaps. These are Bantam. And this is Justin Trudeau, our rooster. So he's got a little bit of gray in his tail. He's on the older side. I'm working on my garden beds. So I got these garden beds. My husband did a trade. So we got these beautiful cedar boxes. So I've got parsley planted and I've got sage in a container. And those buckets are empty. They're just there to deter the chickens from digging because that's what they like to do. And I've got 2 patches ready to go for these 2. I just have to do them. But I did Pilates yesterday and I hurt, so not happening. This was originally for raspberries, and I haven't really done much of that. This is my main garden patch. Just ignore all the trash, okay? This is all going to be planted this year with a combination of flowers and veggies. I've got, this is my son's tree. It's dormant right now. You can't really tell. It's a Japanese maple. And then we have a lilac. I'm considering putting it there. Got a honeysuckle, considering putting it there. We have blueberry bushes that are being overrun by blackberries, so that needs attention. I hope to plant strawberries all in this area here. I think that would be fabulous. This whole area here is going to be containers. As you can see, I've got them all out. And that's like just a really quick tour of what I've got going on. I do have to go through and take out massive amounts of rocks, as you can see, but that is an activity that I can do with a toddler. If there's one thing you could say about my setup, it's not particularly aesthetic right now, but we just walked in here. We're gonna have a look at this temperature in here. Look at that. 49% humidity, 29 degrees Celsius. It is warm in here. Oh, so nice. Look at those weeds coming in fast. All right, and this is the thing that I wanted to show you. Ta-da! See, you don't need the fancy stuff. Just a little bit of saran wrap, some old containers, and boom, you got it. And for the record, too, this is the end of February, February the 25th, something like that. And these ones, I'm not sure will actually grow because they were from my parents in their freezer, and who knows how old they were, probably from the 90s. So they probably won't grow, but these ones that I am growing now are ones that I specifically saved from a batch that I did when we first moved into the house. So that was back in 2020, and I'm so excited that they're growing. There you go, ladies. Gentlemen. The other day I showed you that I hadn't done these two, and now I've done them. Now my chickens absolutely love freshly dug dirt, and they will dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. So I have covered them with this like black netting that my husband said that I could use, and I've just covered it so that they don't really do a lot with it. And I've got these on here so the wind doesn't blow away. So we've got 1, 2, 3. This one is parsley and sage, and I'll probably plant some rosemary and stuff in there. This one's gonna be like dill and some other ones and some flowers. This one, haven't decided on anything yet, but a rosemary bush might be nice, like right in the center there. That might be lovely. Don't really know how to sign off on these. This was my month of DNFs. This was, if you can't hold my attention, you're gone. Some of these DNFs were ones that I would like to get to later. Some of these are ones that I've just said, nope, I'm done with it. I cannot continue on. So here's hoping March ends up being a lot better. Thank you so much for watching and coming on this little experimental adventure vlog. My name is Karen. I'm the Book Libronaut. We'll see you again soon. Well, it's still February. This is insane.